latter part of the month's reading for you, I saw two images. And the first thing that I saw was I see a woman. She looks like, she's of like around late 20s, maybe in her 30s. She's got her arms kind of like this, like she's cradling something. But there's no baby in her arms. There isn't anything in her arm, but she's like cradling it, moving it back and forth, rocking it back and forth. And what I'm feeling with this is there is, that sense of, I almost feel like a long cherished dream. You're still cradling it. You're still hanging on to it. You're still clinging on to it. Surprisingly, it doesn't indicate to me, like strong motherhood vibes. Some of you could be in a position where you are pregnant, trying to get pregnant, trying to do some type of family planning, trying to create the right environment so that you can have the right preconditions before getting married, before bringing a child into the picture. But I definitely didn't see a child yet in her arms, but I feel like she's cradling it, meaning she's preparing herself for that phase in her life. Okay, taking care of something, nurturing something, making herself a lot more emotionally available or emotionally ready for that next big chapter in her life. When I saw that, I also feel as if you're cradling a long cherished dream. It seems like there's something that you've been working really, really hard towards. And I feel for many of you, you have had to make adjustments to your expectations. Maybe you thought it was going to be one way, and then when you took it out into the world, I feel like there were a few reality checks, or possibly even a few obstacles or hurdles that you had to overcome in order to make your dream a reality. And I feel like you're still, moving ahead with it despite all these obstacles and all of these challenges. And you're once you have already decided on a course of action, I feel like, you have a stick-to-itiveness that that will allow you to, reach whatever the destination is, or to move a project forward, or to move your dreams, and to be able to achieve or attain whatever it is that you were, this long cherished dream that you were cradling. Okay, so I have here the Empress, and that is a very, very strong maternal vibe coming into the picture. Some of you could be getting ready to have a child. Pregnancy is really, really ripe for this month, and unplanned pregnancy, especially because we are in the Mercury retrograde period still. We're moving out of it on, I believe, the 23rd, but it is still a little bit of a fickle time when unexpected news comes into the picture. So if that's not something that you want to be a little bit careful, take proper precautions. If that's something you're looking forward to, I feel like, there's going to be a lot of help along the way to be able to bring a child into the picture for you. The other image that I saw was, it's very interesting. I see this aquarium, okay? So all four sides, it's made of glass. There's water, and there's also that machine that circulates, I guess, like oxygen through the water. It also filters the water. So what I'm feeling is it's a very, very controlled environment. The temperature has to be a specific way for all the fish and all the flora and fauna and algae and, the plants inside the aquarium to flourish, right? And I see a person kind of has her hand pressed against the front glass panel, and she's looking out. Okay, she's looking out. And when I saw this, I didn't really know what to make of it, but I feel almost like there's a situation that you're getting very, very antsy about, like starting a new life, starting a new phase in your life. No longer wanting to be in this controlled environment and wanting to move out of it and kind of like exert yourself, your energy, and apply your skills in the physical environment. So there's a concept here about feeling almost like our potential is not being met in a very small, restricted, confining, and possibly a controlled environment. And we want a little bit more to, step up the game a little bit, have a little bit more fun, a little bit more excitement, a little bit more adventure in our lives, and to be able to just not be restricted or constricted, because you almost feel like your full potential is not going to be reached. Okay, so it's almost like that whole concept about a small fish in a small pond. Like, you can thrive there, and it's fairly stable and fairly it's fairly decent. There's no, qualms about it. There aren't any major problems. There aren't things that you can't overcome. But at the same time, you want newness. You want something else to really stir your passion, stir your excitement, and be a lot more intellectually stimulating for you. You want that wild card. You want, like, more stimulation, I'm feeling, because the aquarium, there isn't enough. It's like the goldfish, they keep circling round and round and round. It's like charted territory. It's already been seen, been explored. There isn't anything new, and I feel like you're really, really craving this change, and you're feeling like this change, when it comes for me, it's going to be so transformative for my life. My life is going to take a different trajectory. It's going to be amazing. And I feel like, she's got her hands pressed against the glass wall, like looking out into the world that is out there, and everything is just a lot bigger. And so I'm seeing now, that small fish in a big pond, being able to develop, being able to grow, but at the same time, fish, the big fish eats the small fish. So you understand that there might be a lot of unforeseen dangers, or even unforeseen circumstances, or even things where situation where, it's like survival of the fittest. You have to really be adaptable, and you also have a perilous journey ahead of you if you were to leave the safety and the stability of that aquarium and kind of like jump into the ocean. There will be dangers, okay? So I feel like, at the same time, you're smart enough, you're ready for it, you're prepared for it, and you just want the next phase in your life to really, really, really start. So we have 2 sevens. Okay, so let me talk about the sevens. 7 is a very spiritual number. And when I saw the whole aquarium, it's a very Neptunian type of energy, water, the source of life, the source of sustenance, but also too much of it, being in an aquarium, too much of it can drown out the noise, and too much of it can feel a little bit like wobbly, okay? And so I'm drawn to this number 7 because I usually associate it with like a Neptunian energy, dreams, wishes, aspirations, the things that we really, really pine after and really long for, but we're not. It's very elusive. It's like, trying to grasp sand in the palm of your hands. It slips away through the cracks. So I feel like it's a very illusory, evasive type of an energy. And I also feel like this might be something that is playing out in your psyche, where you're just like, whatever situation you're in, it seems almost like you're not 100% happy, but you don't know where that source of dissatisfaction come from. You're not able to really pinpoint it just yet. You're not able to verbalize what it is. You're not able to give it a voice. As soon as you can, say, okay, I'm not happy because of A, B, C, and D, then the work is already done, because the next step is just about, trying to find A, B, C, and D, or trying to fix A, B, C, and D, so that you can maintain equilibrium. But I feel like there's something that's really nagging at you, that's kind of telling you, there's something wrong here, or I'm not 100% happy. I wish my life were, a little bit more fulfilled, but you're not really sure exactly what that is, okay? And what I have here is the 7 of Cups. And I have as well the Seven of Wands, okay? This is like dreams, wishes, fantasies. This is the reality here with this Seven of Wands. The energy, the ambition, the drive to move things ahead, to oppose all opposition, where you might feel like you're being thwarted by other people. You might feel like you can't go against the herd because you might not fit in. You might not be accepted. You might not be able to convince other people as to your specific course of action. Okay? So I'm seeing, honestly, a lot of people who might be in their 20s trying to, like your friends are getting married, right? And you're just like, oh, that's a little bit too soon. Like, what do we know about love and commitment in our 20s? Like, how come some people can, say I do when they haven't really explored life yet, when they're not even financially stable to have a family? I see some of you are thinking that. And then I'm also seeing some of you are kind of like, the big fish in a small pond. You're outgrowing your environment. You want to branch out. You want to explore and see other territories, other areas, other work, other jobs opportunities, other towns, other cities, other countries even. And all the people that they've lived there, they've gotten married in the same place, they still keep in touch with their high school friend, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that life is not meant for everybody, and I feel like some of you are starting to get these intuitive like nudges, like pulls and tugs at you in multiple directions, and you're just like, I know I'm longing for something, but I don't really know what it is. And I feel it's definitely playing out here in, first of all, this sense of family. Okay, we have here the Four of Wands. This is a marriage card and this is a family card. Some of you are in a relationship, and what I'm seeing is you're kind of torn. On the one hand, there's this family, really, really stable family type of a situation. There might be kids in the picture. There might be assets. There might be, joint assets, linked assets, financial entanglements between you and another person. And then I almost feel like, on the other hand, some of you are looking around, exploring other options, romantic options. And you might have like another connection that you feel very, very torn between. And really, so I feel like there's one person you're in a relationship with. You're talking to another person. And I feel like you feel like there's a lot more compatibility over here. You feel like there's a lot more mutual understanding, because the Two of Cups indicates a very strong soulmate type of a connection that we can't really deny. We can try to avoid the other person, but inevitably they always cross our minds. They always cross our paths. So you don't even have to, go out of your way to like pretend to bump into them. They're going to cross your paths no matter what. And then on the other hand, there's this relationship. So I feel like some of you are definitely torn between two people. I don't see infidelity. I just feel like your heart is divided between two people. This might be a very, innocent connection, like an innocent communication, innocent connection. It's built on friendship. It's built on a lot of mutual trust. But like, you're questioning where your loyalties lie. And you're also questioning as well, whether or not this was the right way to go. Like, should I have gotten married? Should I have stayed with this person? And I definitely feel like you sense there's something missing, but you can't. It's so frustrating. I'm feeling the frustration. There's something missing. We don't know what it is. If we knew what it was, then we could fix it. If we knew what's missing, we can go out into the world and try to find it. And I feel like, you have a really stable and a really good thing over here, but it's not meeting your needs 100%. And air signs like to connect. And I feel like you're feeling as if you are outgrowing a situation, or it's not intellectually stimulating enough for you anymore. It's not that it's stale and stagnant. You just want a little bit more growth and a lot more expansion, okay? And then I'm also seeing people who might have recently gotten engaged, okay? You're with a soulmate. For those who are recently engaged and, you're planning your marriage, you're planning where the venue is going to take place. How many people am I going to invite? Where am I going to get the wedding dress or the tuxedo? Where's the money coming from? So itemizing and planning this really, really major, major event. So it seems like you're onto something, and if you are recently engaged or if you're in a relationship, I definitely feel like if you're recently engaged and planning your wedding, or if you have already planned your wedding and the big day is coming, you're definitely with that major major soulmate connection. There might even be distance between the two of you, but it's going to come together and it's going to smooth itself out. Okay, what I'm also seeing here is this concept about like, am I not, it has nothing to do with, am I capable, am I attractive enough? It has more to do with, am I intelligent enough? And I don't know why that is. It could just be because you're an air sign. But what I feel is there was a situation that you had a lot of, it's like you put all your eggs in one basket to complete something. Okay? I have here the Knight of Coins. And this is, I feel like you're being stopped in your tracks. There isn't movement. There isn't forward momentum. Okay, you're just kind of like stuck in a specific place, and you are very trepidatious and apprehensive about making the next move because you've been through a lot. There was a situation that went haywire. It didn't pan out the way you were hoping. And I feel like it left you feeling a little bit dejected. Like, am I on the right path? Is this the path that's still meant for me? It's definitely something that you feel would enhance your skills. It's something you feel would allow you to bring about a lot more financial stability back into your life. But on the other hand, whatever the blockage was, or whatever that obstacle was, I feel like it left such a sour taste in your mouth, or it left a lot of scars and wounds, and now you're questioning your sense of direction. You're questioning, like, do I stay stuck on this hill, scouting out the next territory, or do I just go ahead with it and trust that everything's going to work out? I feel for many of you, there is definitely a little bit of an influence here when it comes to family, okay? Mom and dad might have been like, this is an extreme example, but it did come up. Mom and dad might have been like professors, and they have really high expectations of you. So you grew up wanting to be, at least get like a higher education the way that your mom and your dad did, because that was what was expected of you. And for a fact, like, I'm smart enough, I'm going to be able to do it it's just a matter of getting through high school, getting through college, getting my master's, getting the PhD. So I see like a one, like, singular path that you have set out for yourself. And for whatever reason, there were blockages, there were obstacles. And it's forcing you to take detours. And now, a lot of the times when we keep rolling and rolling, then we don't lose momentum, right? But then when we encounter blockages one after the other, we kind of run out of steam. We kind of stop and question, is this still the right path for me? If it's the right path for me, why is it so hard? And I feel like it is still the right path for you. It was just really, really hard, mainly because many of you needed to be sure of your conviction, right? It's really easy being like, as a Libra, you kind of like oscillate between two things. Do I really want this, or do I really want the other things? That sense of waffling, indecisiveness. I feel like these obstacles had to be put in place for you to clearly define, is this something that I really want? If it's not something that I really want, then what can I pursue instead of it? It forces you to really confront the situation, confronting yourself, and really asking yourself, if this is something that I really, really, really want, because I feel like you went on this linear path because it was always expected of you. It's almost like doing things on autopilot because that was what you anticipated, that was what was expected of you, and you never questioned it. And so now we're at this major crossroad here where I feel like all the obstacles, it really affected your, not so much your self-esteem, I don't see that. It affected your ability to kind of like be starry-eyed and maintaining your optimism because progress has been stopped. And now you're on this hill about to make a move. He's got a shield, okay? People only go to battle. People only have shields when they go to battle, excuse me. Okay, so he's about to approach something, an unknown situation. So he's kind of like on top of the hill. The wind is kind of whizzing by, and he's just like, "What do I do?" And I feel like there is going to be a conversation coming into the picture, and is really going to tell you. Somebody is coming in with a gesture here. This is a very, very delicate, gentle type of a person. A water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They're bringing you either a gift to really, really help you expand, okay? To really up your game. So they're bringing a gift either to kind of like, for example, I have a job opportunity at my place of employment. Do you want me to put in a good word for you? Do you want to apply? Do you want me to send your resume up the chain of command, for example? And then I even have a water sign person potentially where there's a huge pregnancy vibe, proposal, engagement, okay, like a surprise proposal, something that will kind of blow your mind, something very, very unexpected. And while you've been here looking and wondering what's my next step, I feel like the next step is going to be decided for you through the actions of another person. It's almost like they move things along, and then as a result, things start to move along for you. It's like you're whisked along with this person based on their actions. So I feel like somebody's coming in to really help you. They're paying compliments. They're giving you really soft words of encouragement to really help you build up your own ability to, make the next move. They're restoring your sense of optimism so that you can kind of like close that chapter on the past, whatever was really, really painful, or it didn't come out the way that you wanted, or you thought it was going to be one way. You worked really, really diligently to achieve it, and then it just unraveled at the last minute. And then you've always been questioning, if it's meant for me, why is it so hard? Well, it's meant for you. It's supposed to be hard so that we become more sure every day that it is right for us, and then we can, wholeheartedly pursue it. Okay? Things are not meant to be taken lightly, and we can't really waffle back and forth going through life half decided. So I feel like you're learning a major, major, major lesson here for many of you the past 2-3 years regarding commitment, regarding stick-to-itiveness, regarding your endurance, and regarding that ability to like stick things through to the very end. Okay, so I'm seeing that here. Let me see here. So I have a lot of people that are coming in this spread, and I almost feel like you really cannot make decisions based on other people's expectations, okay? This is like standing up for your own truth, making your own decision, even though it might lead to a course of action that others don't really agree with, okay? And then I'm also seeing this concept here, blocking people out, okay? Standing on this leaf, not losing your balance, not being pulled or swayed by other people. I'm really seeing you. You need to really stand strong and stand proud when you make a decision, because it's the right thing for you to do, and you can't really let other people influence you, okay? It's like be the ruler of your own domain. You can be male or female watching this. It doesn't matter. Be the ruler of your domain. That's what it's really saying here. And it's saying you've been through a lot. You know what your heart wants. And I feel like many of you are still at that point where you're testing the waters. You're just like, there's something here. It's not 100% like perfect. But if you go ahead with it, you will start to learn, you will start to know exactly how the inner workings, the technicalities behind it, how things work. And then you will understand what element about it in particular that you don't like. And then you can, go ahead and try to fix it. Okay? It's a lot about humility, being able to say that I don't know, but I'm going to get in there and I'm going to get my hands dirty, looking at the nuts and bolts and try to find out what is broken, or trying to figure out why it's not working, or try to figure out what I can do to improve a situation. So a lot of it is just really about the nitty-gritty details, and having to, really get your hands like even elbow deep in grease or in dirt, and just, trying to make a situation better. Okay, it's not about indecisiveness or, scouting out the territory, but not really doing anything about it. I feel like the universe is nudging you to get in there, dig deep, get in there, and just start moving things for yourself, because I feel like you're losing steam and you're losing momentum. Um, I'm seeing a big family reunion here, a really big family reunion. And I'm seeing a little bit of like I'm seeing a snippy energy of somebody around your environment where they've made it. They're very successful. They're very popular. They're like really successful. I have the Magician. This is like the life of the party, but I feel like this spread is very much about people putting on airs. Okay, like putting on airs. Feeling very, very snug. And I feel almost like they're looking at you and they're like, Libras, what have you accomplished? It's almost like that. You don't need to play this game and you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. But I'm seeing somebody who's probably very educated, very financially well off, and they're kind of a jerk. And I feel almost like they belittle the people around them, but I almost feel like there might be a personal vendetta in some capacity where they're just like, Libra, what have you done? Or, what are you up to? You know how sometimes people ask us like, hey, what have you been up to? And they haven't seen us in a long time. They're very, very curious and they care about us. So they ask us these questions. But I feel like this person has a little bit of a forked tongue, like coming in with a little bit of facade, like, I haven't seen you in a while. What are you up to? Kind of trying to see where you're at professionally, financially, to see if you are a threat to them. That's what it feels like to me. And you don't need to. I feel like you might have this person in a home environment, also in a work environment, but it's not somebody that's immediately around you. I feel like they come and go, and you don't really interact with them on a regular basis. Hence, I haven't seen you in a while. What are you up to? So I'm getting that energy. Just be careful. Don't let this person corrode your self-esteem, and especially don't let this person affect you. Okay? So let me talk about love. We have a lot of people here. You've got a lot of options and a lot of suitors. You could be married or single. It doesn't even matter. You have a lot of options. I see a very, very shy earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, very shy. This is somebody that's dated his or her share of bad people. They've had relationship partners that might not have been very emotionally stable, okay? And so they have a specific type now that they're trying to avoid. And they're very drawn to you. They're drawn to your charisma, and they're drawn to the fact that you're very popular, very attractive. So they're very attractive to you. They're very attracted to you. They find you very attractive. They find your charm just really endearing. They like the way that you look, because I feel like he's looking this way at the Empress. And you're like the type where you have really good manners, you have really good vocabulary, you have really good knowledge. This is somebody that is looking for a relationship, and they see you and they're just like, this is the woman or the man I want to take home to my mom and dad. But I definitely feel they also sense they've got competitors. There is a water sign here that they feel is interfering with them. Somebody got to you first. It's like this person took way too long. Somebody got to you first. And now they're on the sidelines looking at your life and wishing that they were with you instead of this other person. Does that make sense? So I feel like there was a missed opportunity, and the other person is still heavily, heavily thinking about you. But either way, I see a earth energy and then also a very strong water vibe. So water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, there might be a very strong soul connection between you and this person, okay? It's a situation where they're very, very interested in you, and they haven't really forgotten about you. So I don't know how long you've known this person, but they're trying everything. Like, they're trying to do everything exactly the way that they know that you would like, just to make you happy. They're trying everything in the book. They're really trying. This person really honestly just 100% really dotes on you. They really love you, and they're trying everything in the book to show you how devoted they are. And they want this, the whole matrimony, marriage, stability. There could be proposals as well. So I'm seeing, like, they see you as their soulmate. And there are some, there are things that they're doing behind the scenes to maintain the relationship that you might not have been cognizant of. And so I feel like this person is going above and beyond to be a really good relationship partner. And I don't see this energy a lot, but I feel like you've got somebody in your midst that is just phenomenally, like, really very much interested in you. And yeah, so you have some suitors coming into the picture. I'm also seeing another person as well that you have your eyes on. And I feel like there's a distance. There's also this opposites attract type of energy, night and day, okay? The backgrounds indicate to me this is possibly a night scene and the day scene. And I feel like, you are looking at this person. You're mesmerized by them. You're attracted to them as well. But you also like that they've been through a lot, but they never complain. They've been through their fair share of struggles, but they're so strong, and they keep moving forward. They have this inner, quiet, silent strength about them that can be very, very mesmerizing. I don't know what sign they are, but I feel like you're at a point where you're thinking, this is a person that I want to be by my side. When the going gets rough, they don't hightail it out of there. They don't run. They don't get scared. They fight. They stay there and fight with me. And so I feel like, you're looking for more of that earthy energy where somebody is going to stick around. They're going to be a man or a woman of their words. They're not going to run at the first sight of trouble and leave you stranded, or throw you to the wolves so that they can save themselves. I feel like you're looking for a lot more substance in your relationships, and you're looking for somebody who is, that ride or die, okay? That ride or die partner. I feel like in the past that I'm sensing that might be what's really, really missing. Okay? Somebody that's there for you. They don't need, so I feel like there might have been a situation here where we have surrounded ourselves with a lot of yes people. People that never put us in our place. People that might have just, gone along for the ride. But at the end of the day, They might not be around when you needed help. They might not have steered you in the right direction when they saw that you were going astray. And I feel like at this point in your life, you're kind of like tired of that BS. You want a relationship, a friendship, an interaction that is real. You want somebody that will do that, um, that will tell you, hey, I think you're heading down a wrong path, or you're doing something that you're not supposed to, and call you out on it. I feel like that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for authenticity in your social interactions with other people. And that might be the element that is really, really missing. You want a little bit more friction in your relationship. You want a little bit more like, tell me what you think, not what you think I want to hear. And you might have been surrounded by people that really, really cared about you. They really, really, really care about you. Like they bent over backwards. But at the end of the day, the relationship was just so smooth because you might have been surrounded by yes people. Okay. I hope the reading is helpful. I hope that it gives you, insights, or at least it's applicable to your situation right now. I feel like you're definitely on the right path. You need to make a major move here or a major decision here, okay? But I feel like, moving forward, things are going to be a lot smoother, all right? So take care of yourself, Libras. For those who are interested in a reading, I have included in the description box a link to a psychic. She is based out of California. Her name is Bridget. She is phenomenal. So for those who haven't booked a reading with her, I highly recommend her, okay? So the link is below if you're interested.